to your Saturday edition of the Morning Mug. I wanted to see if I could keep a straight face through that. Today is Saturday, the 11th of April. Happy weekend to everybody. Today's theme is just kind of a little bit of everything. I guess that's what normal morning mugs are, but thought about Jeopardy and Potpourri, the category of Potpourri. So I thought I'd give you a little historical context because today's all about being a nerd. BT dubs, this is from a trip I took for my 30th birthday. One stop was California and went and visited Stanford. Fear the trees. And I saw this and I was just like, So this is normally a pencil cup at school. I really had to scrub to get the stuff off the bottom so I could use it. But if there are pencil shavings in my coffee, maybe it's just a little more fiber. I don't know. So the historical origins of potpourri. Potpourri traces back to the 12th century in Western Europe. It is actually a French word. So pot, we say pot, pourri, potpourri, potpourri, meaning pot and rotten. So imagine, in the big, think Game of Thrones fans, like you're in the working, or Outlander, the kitchen's in the castle and you have the big cauldron and you're done cooking for the day. So you'd put your extra spices and herbs and put them in there and just let them go. Eventually you take out that mixture, put a little bit of spirits in there, if you know what I'm saying, put it in a container, put a lid on it, and let it sit for a while and let it rot. Good stuff. Eventually you would scoop some of the contents and put it in a bowl with flowers or other pretty things. So keep that in mind. Pot rotten, those of you that have those little containers on the top of your toilet tanks. And the music stopped. That was epic. That worked out really well. So a bunch of this day in histories today. Let's keep the French Connection. Oh, that's a movie. That's a movie too. But let's keep the French Connection going. 1814, Napoleon Bonaparte. Interesting historical figure if you're looking for someone to research. So he was exiled to the island of Elba, off the coast of Italy. Interesting guy. He was born in Corsica, so technically not French, but Corsica was controlled by the French, so I guess he is sort of kind of French. Military training, fought in the French Revolution. They're like, hey, Napoleon, you are really good at leading. He's like, I know. And then he becomes a dictator, and then he crowns himself emperor, and we're expanding, and like Napoleon, he's like, okay, fine, I will step down, and exiled himself to the island of Elba. Fast forward, he comes back, and tries to take over again, and then they're like, we need to send you further away, so we're going to send you to St. Helena. Wait till at some point I show you a map of where that's at. Whoa. Interesting guy. I mean, power hungry, but initiated a lot of political and social reforms. There's the Napoleonic Code, the Code Napoleon. But never invade Russia in winter. Even if you start in June, it's not going to be a good campaign. So just so you know, if you're planning on doing that after the quarantine is lifted. Okay. 1783, hostilities cease in the American Revolution, so we're making progress on that one. 1968, the Civil Rights Act of 1968 is passed. Yes, we had one 4 years before, but this one is focusing on some Native American issues, and it's also focusing on fair housing, so sometimes it's called the Fair Housing Act. 1890, Ellis Island is designated as an immigration station. That was on my list of places to go this past summer. Didn't get it to happen. So eventually, once it's safe for us to travel, that's near the top. I want to do the Statue of Liberty thing. I've seen it from a distance. I haven't actually been there yet. So those of you who have, if you have any suggestions, feel free to send them my way. 1898, Spain declares war on the United States. So of course, what do? We declare war back on Spain. That's going to be the beginning of the Spanish-American War, lasting just shy of 4 months. 1912, if we're talking Titanic. Remember yesterday, Titanic left Southampton. Today, Titanic left Ireland to cross the big blue wet thing on the way to New York. 1966, Frank Sinatra releases Strangers in the Night. Strangers in the Night. I remember my dad randomly singing that, just that line. Strangers in the Night. 1970, Apollo 13 launched. So if you, Jack Swigert and Fred Hayes and Jim Lovell leave attempting to go land on the moon and don't quite make it, turns into a very intense film. And of course, playing Jim Lovell, Tom Hanks. If you watch Apollo 13, which I'm sure it's on one of the streaming services at this point, or it's one of those like you turn on TBS and it plays like 3 times in the same weekend. At the end, helicopter bringing them back to the aircraft carrier, and there's the guy, the naval officer in his dress blues that salutes Jim Lovell, played by Tom Hanks. That guy, that officer, is actually Jim Lovell. I love when they do stuff like that in movies. I really do. So, great film. Failure is not an option. I have my bumper sticker over there. Failure is not an option. All right, I'll go get it. Hold on. Give me a second. Apollo 13. Failure is not an option. Okay. 1976, if we're bringing the nerd out, the Apple I computer by the Woz, Steve Wozniak, is officially released, so thank you for that one. 1983, Ben Kingsley wins an Oscar for Gandhi. Such a good movie. You have to be ready to commit. It's a long film, but it's a good film. It's one that you need to watch at some point, so pace yourself. 2012, The Avengers premieres in Los Angeles all the way back in 2012. Oh my gosh. Celebrity birthdays, Julian Alvarez, the Mexican singer. I put a track or 2 of his up in my Spotify playlist. Okay, so that's kind of the nerding out. It's time. I'm still adding to this, but remember the rules that I can change at any time. Connecting the 2 people that I pull out of here through family, significant relationships, jobs, projects, roles, personal trivia. I get 1 30-second IMDb check. And the song I have up is 2 minutes and 36 seconds, so I'm hoping that I can do it. So you know I'm not cheating. Oh, Robin Williams and Jennifer Aniston. I can do that. Robin Williams, Jennifer Aniston. I am giving myself 2.5 minutes. And go. I'm about halfway through my time. Got it. Got it. And that was the end of the song. I got it. Okay. As always, there's probably a much shorter way to do this, but the pressure's on. The recording is happening. I have a dog here. She was staring at me. Now she's distracted by something else. Okay. Robin Williams to Jennifer Aniston. Robin Williams starred with Pierce Brosnan in Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my all-time favorites. That's not, nope, I'm not going that connection. Hold on. That one's gone. Try again. Robin Williams, Sally Field, Mrs. Doubtfire. Sally Field with Tom Hanks in several films, but my favorite, of course, Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks starred with, do I need Denzel? I'll put Denzel in there. Tom Hanks starred with Denzel Washington in Philadelphia, Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts in The Pelican Brief. Julia Roberts starred with Brad Pitt in the Oceans series, Oceans 11, 12, 13. Brad Pitt was once married to Jennifer Aniston. So Robin Williams, Sally Field, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston. There it is. Another one done, and I didn't have to cheat. I'm sure, as always, there are better connections to do, but this is a really good brain exercise for me. So, thank you for tuning in, the potpourri, the hodgepodge, and this is what this turned out to be. Look at that craziness. Oh my God. And I think we just crossed the record for the longest morning mug. I will try to be more brief in future, but it's the weekend. We have time. It's fine. All right. So until I see you tomorrow, behave, be good, be kind. Please continue recycling. For the love of all things, wash your hands. And I'll see you later. Bye.